The Chief Executive Officer, Whitescope International Group, Dr. Oluwasegun Musa, has again reminded the federal government that Nigeria's over-dependence on oil exports leave the country vulnerable to external shock, such as fluctuating global oil prices. Dr. Musa was represented by his manager, Monuchi Magzu, made the statement during the weekend at the People's Forum Magazine 15th National Business Summit, which was held at Alausa in Lagos.
The thematic thrust of this business summit, Solution to Intertwining Insecurity and Rising Inflation in Nigeria, aptly focuses on these issues. With inflation rate hovering around 22% as at mid-2023 and the persistent insecurity in several regions, the two issues have become intricately linked, feeding into one another in a vicious cycle. This presentation therefore explores actionable solutions to mitigate this interrelated crisis. So we all know that there is a crisis in our hand, and the fundamental question is, the government cannot do it all. So how do we contribute to this conversation? And beyond just mere contribution, how do you profile actionable solutions that will drive the change that we need? As insecurity has crippled key economic sectors in Nigeria, agriculture, which employs over 35% of the labor force and contributes about 24% to the country's GDP, has suffered immensely due to attacks by insurgents and bandits. According to the World Bank, insecurity in northern Nigeria has led to a 30% reduction in agricultural output, resulting in food scarcity and price hikes. The National Bureau of Statistics reported that food inflation reached 25% by the end of 2023, primarily driven by supply chain disruption in the northern and middle belt regions.
These are twin issues that has bedeviled the nation. And it's very obvious that these critical issues have to be addressed. And that's why government intervention is critical to enabling and ensuring that there is a needed transformation that comes up. And that's why we had to come up with solutions that are critical in not just driving the conversation, but also make it loud and clear for the government to intervene. And some of the solutions we profiled, one of them was empowering youth. Because when the youth power in Nigeria cannot be underestimated. And so that invariably means that in empowering them, we need to fully engage them. Because if they are not fully engaged, they will be prone to nefarious activities that will not be healthy to the nation. And that's one of the solutions we profiled, empowering the Nigerian youth. Because if they are well empowered, they will be productive to the advancement of the nation. Then we also talked about community policing.
Earlier in his welcome address, the publisher, People's Forum Magazine, Pastor Tunde Ojudu, while speaking on the theme, insecurity and economic growth, urged the youth to get acquainted with skills.
Yeah, this 15 People's Forum 15 National Business Summit, which we do yearly. This is the 15th in the series. And what we do is we try to discuss what is happening in the system, the Nigerian economic system. And that is why this year's theme is talking about insecurity and economic growth and inflation. I say the solution is the government. If government is serious in addressing the problem of insurgency, problem of insecurity in Nigeria, it will be addressed because they know the cause, they know the problem. First, one of the problems is S-men, it's Fulani S-men. Until government tackle this problem by stopping open grazing. If you ban open grazing, there will be no problem concerning farmers, maybe farmers and S-men fighting. So one is government can empower the youth through by first education, making sure that people are educated, and then training. They train them on what they need to know, especially all these artisans. First, government
prognosis. One has to do with the leadership, and two has to do with the followership. There's a book I read written by Islamic scholar. He said any government that wants the citizens to perform pay should increase, you pay them living wages, should pay them accordingly. Because when you pay them what's supposed to pay, it will increase productivity and there will be less corruption. But let us see here now, workers are underpaid as far as I'm concerned. Whatever may be the reason, we are still underpaid. Even with 70,000, 72,000, it's still not what we are going. But at least we are able to, maybe we appreciate the government of the day, that at least has pushed us forward. Hoping in 3 years, 4 years, there will be negotiation to increase it further. Then to leadership, I think Nigeria is wonderfully endowed. I believe Nigeria has human capacity to turn around things in Africa and in the world at large. So I just want to employ our leaders that they should add more of fairness of Allah, fairness of God in their thinking, and there should be more of iman than being material.
Insecurity has taken, a very, very lopsidedness of the Nigerian government. Other countries is not like that. It was something you see once in a blue moon. But here today, as I'm telling you, it's happening every hour in Nigeria. So we don't need such thing to continue to happen. Major thing is this: if you grab power by force, you cannot in any way control that power. Because grabbing power, it causes more insecurity. Those involved will still make that power you grab a very, very insecure economy and insecure citizen. Today, in other countries of West African and Central African sub-region, are very well doing security, these architectures are well prepared. And those things are not maybe inherent in our country as well. We're not seeing it working.
From this summit, we have discovered that what we need as a nation, as a people, is collaboration. We need to work in synergy. We need to go back to the drawing board and see what Nigeria has done wrong in the past and come to a conclusion on the way forward. So as a people, as a nation, the moment we are prepared to come together, to collaborate and to work together, I believe that Nigeria will surmount these challenges.
High point of the event was a presentation of awards to distinguished personalities within the maritime industry. The Onírèté of Irete Ijebu, Ọba Awokoya Yesufu Abdul Ganiyu Olusegun, Dr. Musa Olusegun Musa, CEO, Widescope Group and Maritime Consultant, High Chief Dr. Michael Orobosa Ubogu, Founder, CEO, Mercury Services Limited, Dr. Frederick Nadike, Entrepreneur and Founder, Finance Communication, Chief Chukwu Osita Patrick, National Coordinator, Save Nigerian Freight Forwarders, Importers and Exporter Coalition, and Mrs. Ifunanya Eze, Senior Correspondent, Maritime Editor, TVC. The publisher was, however, optimistic that Nigeria could get better if only the federal government will flush bad egg out of the military system. Roland Ekama, Seabed Television, Lagos.